And we're live.
We are live. Okay,
We
let
are
me
live.
find it.
How are you? Megan.
Oh, so good. How are you?
I'm good. We've had an exciting first couple of weeks of February.
Yes, we have.
Yes, we have. You have big news, don't you?
I do.
Share with the world. You heard it here first.
So I got married on the 2nd.
Yay! Congratulations.
Yay. Thank you
You
so
got
much.
married.
I'm so happy. Huh?
Yeah. Married. That is from, I'm saying married. Like it's in 16 Candles. Long duck dong. She got married. And he keeps saying that. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know that movie?
No.
You're too young. People my age. That was like cult classic. And he's hanging from, no, I think he opens the door and Jake Ryan is there and he's telling him she got married, but her sister got married. And he keeps saying, married? And yeah, she got married. It's very funny.
Oh my
God.
God.
People know what I'm talking about, but it's very funny. I love that movie. I think I wrote,
I have to see it.
In Misadventures with a Book Boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
They watched that movie.
Oh my gosh. I have to watch that movie now. I don't think I've ever seen it.
Oh, it's so good. So good. It's John Hughes. There's a whole, like, in that era, he did a whole bunch of movies like Breakfast Club, 16 Candles, Pretty in Pink. There's another one I'm forgetting. But they're really good. It was like my generation, you know, we were teenagers when those came out. So it was like the voice of our generation. Mm-hmm. He gets me, man, you know. It was like the stuff we were going through at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Molly Ringwald was the actress.
And, yes, so I know who she is because of the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, and Anthony Michael Hall was in that one. He was like the geek. And yeah, so all of those stars, you know, that's where they started, and then they just took off from there. But anyway, that's
Carrie Ann says, hey, I'm young and those are good movies.
They're really good movies. I don't know, that guy that played Jake Ryan in that movie, I think he never did anything else. He made that movie and then he went on to be like a carpenter or something. He just didn't do anything else after that. But
oh wow.
Yeah, he was the heartthrob. I actually know someone, or someone told me once, they named their son Jake Ryan. Like Jake Ryan, whatever their last name. Because they love it so much.
Oh wow. So I got married and then the next day it was your birthday. So
it was my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
What a fun month. I love February. I love Valentine's Day. I think, how do you like having your birthday kind of close to Valentine's Day, or it doesn't matter at all?
I don't know. I'm not like, David and I are not like big Hallmark holiday people. You know what I mean? Like, so sometimes we don't even give each other Valentine's Day cards, almost out of like protest. I'll say I love you when I feel like it, damn it, you know, not when they say I should, or
yes.
Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. It just depends. But I don't like being forced into doing things like that. It bothers me.
Yeah.
Except for Mother's Day, because I think I deserve to be honored on that day. So
yes,
that one I buy into, but all the other ones I'm not really big on. But I don't know. And my birthday, you know, I kind of hide on that day. It's not a big thing for me. So
yeah.
And I don't know. I've never really been a big celebrator on my birthday. It's just, I don't know, getting older. And I don't like all that attention. Surprise. And it's not weird. I don't like all the attention, but
yeah.
Especially now that I'm older and older and older and older and older. It's like, oh God, I'm just getting older. But I'm going to keep fighting it every step of the way. As much as I can. So what's everybody up to?
Everyone's saying congratulations and happy birthday.
Yeah.
Thank you for the congratulations.
It's a really neat time for the lunar calendar. You know, there's like all kinds of really great stuff going on in the beginning of February. And then, so my birthday, you know, being there and the new moon coming right after and all this stuff, it was like, this is really exciting. Like, so that part for me, I like having my birthday in that time of year because of all that stuff, because it's a great time
Yeah.
for, renewal and all this. So I do like that part of it. That was a good time to get married too. Like,
Yeah.
new beginnings. So,
Yeah. So we decided on that like a week and a half before.
I know.
Or 2
it was
weeks
fast.
before. So that's why I didn't have anything on Facebook about it. There's nothing. It was so we decided.
Well, then it was 2/2/22.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we checked with them at the courthouse. They were like, I said we want 2/2/22 or 2/2/22, and they were like, oh no, those dates have been gone for a long time. Everyone wants those dates.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dang it. But then I was like, let's just get the license anyways, and we'll get married within 6 months. That's fine.
Right.
And then after we waited for a while for them to do whatever they had to do, they called us back and they were like, did you say you wanted February 2nd? And I said, yes. And they're like, we have one appointment left for that day.
Meant
Do you
to
want
be.
it? And yes, I was like, yes, okay, then we're doing it that day.
And what did the time matter?
No,
What time?
it was 4:30.
So
That was the only time left. So I didn't even, I was like,
so even
okay.
on a 24-hour clock, that's 14. So that no, I'm trying to make it work for you, but it's not going to.
Yeah.
I don't know, like on the Zulu clock, what it is in that part of the country. So I don't remember.
Yeah.
That's pushing me too far. Oh my gosh. It's been kind of a hell week though at my house. It's just been nutty. My daughter's having some health things going on, which are always very trying for me, but I don't even know. That's just too long of a story. But so that's been a lot. And I had a lot of dental work done like 2 weeks ago, and it's really been a long, hard recovery, but I think I'm finally getting there, but that's rough. It's rough. I never do good with dental, but I've talked about this before. After having radiation for the breast cancer, it's wrecked so much in my mouth, which is weird. And no one ever told me that until it was done. So surprised, another little trophy from having breast cancer, but man alive. So I'm over the hard part of it. Now I just have to get, because I had implants done. So the worst part of it is done. Now, after it heals, then you get the new teeth put on. It's like crowns, but
Yeah.
the implants are permanent. So
I'm so glad the worst part is done.
yeah. And it was all while I was sleeping, which was fine, but it was the recovery. Oh, swollen and oh my God, all this stuff. It was brutal.
Yeah.
I don't like the dentist. I've said that a million times.
Oh, me either.
Not my
I'm right there with
favorite
you. Don't like it. Hate going.
Yeah.
Okay, well, our mystery author is in the room, so
It's
I
good.
will introduce her.
Okay.
Let's see if you can guess, because last time you did, but I'm sure you'll be able to.
Yeah.
This evening's mystery author is a New York Times, USA Today, #1 Amazon bestseller, and #1 Wall Street Journal bestselling author. She has a heart as big as the state of Tennessee where she lives, but this all-American girl has also spent the last 18 years living in Missouri, California, Colorado, Indiana, and Texas. She's married to a retired Army man and current firefighter/EMT who now gets to follow her around the country. She debuted her first series in 2014 and quickly followed that up with the Seal of Protection series, which solidified her love of writing and creating stories readers can get lost in. Please welcome Susan Stoker.
I was guessing that in my head. I didn't know that you lived in Tennessee, though. Where is Susan?
I see her name, but I don't see her name.
Stoker.
Let me see. Okay, well.
Stoker.
Let me see.
Connecting the audio. Susan, do you hear us?
I hear you.
There she is. How are you?
I'm good. I made it. What did I miss? What did I miss?
Nothing. We were just saying we hear you. I said, I didn't know you lived in Tennessee.
I know. I moved here. We moved like 3 years ago, I think.
Maybe
So-
because it's been like that long since any of us have seen each other.
Exactly. Yeah. I think it was, God, it might even be longer than that. 2019, 2018. I don't know, something like that. One day I just told my husband, I'm like, Texas is really hot.
Yeah.
But I think I want to move. And he was like,
Yeah.
okay. So here we are.
Yeah. The last time we talked, it was remember this mountain cabin, and did you do like the what is it called? House hunter thing?
Yes, it was a house hunter show, and it was
Yeah.
for this house here in Tennessee.
Oh.
And yeah, I don't know if I'm spilling secrets or not, but it's all a lie.
Yeah, that's what I know. I said, do you know what I found out?
Yeah, we had
Like,
already
tell
bought the
people-
house, and they
Yeah.
picked 2 other houses that you go through and
That you have to look at.
choose, and
Yeah.
so it was fun though. I was like,
Yeah.
I want to do it. So,
It's
yeah.
fun, but what a sham. It kind of, it
Oh
was
my
like the Wizard
gosh.
of Oz,
Yeah. So now whenever I see those shows, I'm always trying to guess like which house is it. And usually it's like either the house that's empty because they haven't moved in yet,
right?
or it's the house that like they're like, this furniture is great or something because it's already their furniture.
Because it's
moved in.
theirs. Yeah. It's so
yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
I always read, like, if I see a little, I get a lot of these emails that are like, it's almost like a magazine, like it has little snippets and then you can just click on and follow through what it is. And it was about Fixer Upper and what a sham that show is,
Yeah.
I was like, I knew it. I knew that wasn't real. There's no way.
I
And that
like
one-
I like the lottery winning show where they like win the lottery and they go buy a
Yes.
house and they're like, you win the lottery of $4 million. What's my budget? And they're like,
That was
"Ah."
early this time.
They're like $200,000. Like,
I
wait,
know, and I think, what the heck? Well, living in California, sometimes they'll go, you want $1 million? I'm like, well, good luck. You might get a house.
right, exactly. But yeah, or they win, or they're like, oh yeah, I did a scratcher and I won $1 million. And my budget is 150,000. I'm like, why are we watching the show? I thought this
Yeah.
was yeah, a lottery winning show. So yeah, I just
Yeah, you're supposed to be impressing me right now, not
Yeah.
this $100,000. But
Exactly.
I don't know, it's crazy. But I'm trying to think what they were saying about Fixer Upper. I was shocked. It's like, first of all, they stage it. All that is just staging. You don't keep any of what Joanna Gaines puts in there. You can't have any of it. It's
Oh,
not
geez.
yours.
That's crazy. Like, what's
Why? I mean, what are we doing here?
right?
like-
Exactly. That's crazy.
So you get a home that was either slapped up in 5 days, that's like constructionally sound, right? Or
Right.
you get, I don't know, or remodeled that fast, or they're either, you notice they don't go through the whole house. They remodel like 1 or 2 rooms.
Of course.
That's
So
it.
then the rest of your house looks like crap. But
Right.
yeah, one room looks like,
And then they take everything out. You don't get it anyway. So, or I saw that you have to bankroll the whole thing. Like they'll do it for you in 5
Yeah.
days, but you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is going on here?
It's
So
the
what are you
reality
paying
show.
for?
The reality show thing is so weird how that's
Yeah.
like all we have nowadays.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. It's all smoke and mirrors.
Yeah. Yep.
So, but man, it gets the ratings, doesn't it?
right.
That makes me so sad because I love reality TV
I
so
know.
much.
I know. So yeah. So all those shows, those like dating ones and the what is it? Bachelor.
Bachelor. Yeah. Naked and Afraid, I think, is real. But like, why would you go on the show? Like, I've never seen it, but I don't think you even win money. Like, you just go and you're just naked.
You're just naked and
And you're
afraid.
hot and miserable and things
Yeah.
are biting you and hungry and no, just no.
No.
Yeah.
Just no. And are you with a stranger?
Yeah. Yeah. Of the opposite sex. They like put you with a stranger of an opposite sex and they're like, go live for a month or whatever
Oh
in
my God.
Africa, naked. Good luck. Yeah.
Oh my God. So there is a show on, and it only lasted 1 season. My son and his girlfriend showed me this show. God damn, what was it called? When it was kids. And they took over this old ghost town.
I remember that.
There
It was
were no
more like
adults.
Lord of the Flies kind of thing.
It was.
Yeah.
There were no adults and no one could intervene. Like it was in the contract. The camera people were there, but they could not help them at all.
That sounds
And
like
they
a
had to
horrible
survive. And it was
experiment
like,
gone
well,
wrong.
good luck. And parents sent their kids to do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, how many lawsuits were born
Right.
in this,
Oh, but they sign their life away.
Yes,
You
it was
that there's-
crazy.
yeah.
And to read now, there was all kinds of stories on the web, about what happened afterwards, because people were up in arms about it. Like, and it was on a major network like ABC or CBS, and it was crazy. It was crazy. Kids were crying, and they were little. Like the oldest one was 10. It was like from 7 to 10. They were little kids.
I vaguely remember that.
Oh my God. Oh my God, who would do that to their kid?
Right?
Like, really?
That's
I don't
great.
know. I just can't even picture it. Like, what kind of money what was the winning there?
Right? Like, why? What was the incentive?
Because you're going to spend that in therapy bills
Yeah.
later. My mom abandoned me and she made but we got it all on tape.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oy.
So what are you up to? How are you spending your COVID time?
My house with the dogs, doing my thing.
You writing like crazy, or?
Yeah, I mean, I like writing, so it's an escape for me, and I don't have kids, so COVID really wasn't that different for us because I was at my house anyway. But tonight, my husband and I went out. We went out for dinner. We went to one of those Brazilian steakhouses.
Oh
where
yeah.
they just keep bringing the meat by your table and stuff. So
yeah,
now I'm ready for a nap because I ate all the meat earlier. But so we actually got out of the house tonight. So that was
nice.
My husband gets out all the time. I do not. So
and so he's a first responder, huh?
Yeah, so he works part-time for an ambulance company, and then he's also a volunteer firefighter. So last night at 3:30, the thing went off, and he went off to fight a fire or help another city's township fight a trailer fire. So he does this thing, but he loves it, and it keeps him busy, and he comes home with all the stories. And, and in September 2020, he brought home COVID. Thanks, honey. That was great. But
my husband caught it, but he wasn't allowed back in the house. I send him to a hotel because our daughter's severely disabled and she has an autoimmune disorder. So it was like, and he caught it while he was away. So we knew he had it. And I just said, well, you have to go to a hotel. You can't come back in the house until it's gone.
I'll drop food off for you, but you can't.
Well, we really did. I left like care packages for him outside the gate at the end of the driveway, and he would come by and get them. And then sometimes we would go to the hotel. We knew where his room was because he was there for 2 weeks. And I would leave stuff outside his door at the hotel. We didn't tell the people at the hotel he had it, but he was really good. He didn't leave the room, he just, because he can work pretty much as long as he has computer and internet and stuff. And so we just did that. But
that's good.
And it was, at least we didn't get it in the house. No one else caught it at home. So it was the best plan we could come up with. But we had at our business, 6 people got it from one person. One person had it. He didn't even know he had it because his wife had it.
Was it recent?
Symptoms, totally asymptomatic. And then he brought it to work and gave it to 6 people. And it was so random. It was so random who got it from him. There was like no rhyme or reason. And man, I mean, we have like maybe 20 employees. So for 6 of them to go down at one time, it was brutal. It was really hard. So
I think that's kind of the state of a lot of businesses.
Right at Thanksgiving that happened. So
I always try to tip really well just because no one wants to work in food service and all that. So I always try to tip really well.
Yeah, right. Oh man. So what else? What are you working on right now? You've got those, it's always a woman's name, like saving somebody, saving Sarah.
So this week I had a book come out this week that was 5 years in the making.
Oh wow.
So 5 years ago I wrote a book with a little girl, single mother and her little girl. And so this book this week is the little girl. She's all grown up now. I hadn't meant, I don't do second generation books because they're hard with because especially because I have a group of guys. And so by the end of the series, you've got 14 people, then you've got all their children they've had. You have to keep track of how old are they now?
Right.
You know, if it's 20 years later, how old are their children?
Right.
And you have a chart, and I always screw it up, and the readers will always let you know you screwed up. So
exactly. And
so
I always have the best intentions going in, like at the beginning, there's okay, this time I'm going to keep it so accurate, and I'm going to, and I enlist people to help me keep this right. You know, I always drop off somewhere.
timeline is hard. So I usually don't write second generations, but Annie, I kind of needed to for Annie. I wrote a little short story that where she met a guy from another book, a boy, and when they were 7, and she decided right then, I'm going to marry this boy. And so this was their story. So
neat.
It's a little different for me because I started out in love and engaged, which usually my stories don't. And so it was pretty sappy, I have to admit, but it was Annie's story. So everyone was like, that's okay. So that came out this week. And then I have a brand new series starting next month, which is a small town for me, which is new, but they're still prior military, and they're search and rescue guys.
So
they're in a small town in Southwest Virginia, and so they're a SAR team, and they go out in the woods and look for people. And so the first one is Searching for Lily, so we got the name in there. But
nice.
So that's the start of a new series, so that's kind of fun. And the first one, the heroine is a camera operator for a paranormal investigation show. Reality show. And they are searching for Bigfoot. So so I've had
loves Bigfoot stuff.
I've had fun with the Bigfoot theme. And of course I have like all this Bigfoot stuff for my store. And, you know, I even put Bigfoot on the back of the cover and all this stuff. And I had someone ask me, is this a paranormal? I'm like, no, no, this is not a Bigfoot love story. I'm sorry. Bigfoot doesn't fall in love with anybody. It's a side thing. But I just ran with it because it's Bigfoot and it's fun, and it's Southwest Virginia and the mountains, and anyway, so I just kind of had to laugh at that. So
how funny. How do you like starting new series? Like I like it. It's exciting, but I kind of it's hard for me to get going there. It's like
because you don't know the people. You don't know the people yet. And book 1 is hard for me because I like writing series with a group of guys, and then their girls all become friends. I love the girl posse thing. And when book 1, you don't have that because there aren't any other women. So it's just the one. So she's out there, you know, getting along with all the guys, but I'm like, oh, she needs a girlfriend. You know? She needs a friend. So
she needs sisters.
Exactly. So when I get to book 2, it's always nice because I'm like, okay, bring it. They got to go to lunch. They got to start gossiping. They got to do all the things. So But yeah, I'm with you. Starting a series is hard, and readers have a hard time with new series too. And they say they don't, but as authors, we see the pre-order numbers. We know they're like, I don't know about this new series. I'm like, you guys, you're gonna like it. I promise. It's just
give it time.
And they have to. It takes a while.
Everyone needs to find their groove,
buy into it. So we'll see how that goes. But
I love the banter though between the guys. I like the girl posse, but I love it. My favorite is two favorites. I love writing the banter with the guys. You know, when they're just ribbing each other and carrying on. But I love writing, fighting, arguing scenes.
I don't have a lot of those.
Great dynamic there.
Because in mine, I like for the guy to like the girl. Like, I know in contemporary, you know, that's kind of a thing. They always get in a fight and somebody storms out or whatever. But I like my men to be 100% in. And I guess some people are like, well, that's boring. And I suppose it is. But that's why I bring in the kidnappings and the shootings and the external dramas to make it a little more exciting.
I need to pick your brain because I'm doing romantic suspense right now. I mean, now I'm 9 books in. So, but this getting, you know, really close to wrapping it up, and I'm like, I have like 3 things. Should I go this way, trying to figure out what is the most, because I still like it to be believable, you know.
Of course,
it has to be believable. It can't really be
there.
Bigfoot did it all, you know.
Exactly right.
It might be fun that way, but you know, I'm still trying to keep it in reality.
The fuzzy producer in mine tries to blame the missing person on Bigfoot, of course. Well, they're all probably really buying into Bigfoot because that's what they do. They're paranormal, so
I mean, the show. So they all believe in that kind of thing, you know.
Well, no, they don't.
Oh,
'Cause
they
it's
don't.
a reality show.
Yeah.
It's a
Interesting.
reality. We just had
Yeah.
this conversation. So yeah, so they've got the Bigfoot feet that they've got.
Oh, they're making
they-
it up.
Yeah, oh yeah. And the knocks on the wood. They got the guy in the forest knocking on the
How
wood back.
funny.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
What
they
a
got
great
all
extra part of it. I thought they would all be like into it, you know, like total geeks going, yeah, I saw it too, you know. How funny. They're just making it all up. That's a
Yeah.
great twist to it.
Yeah.
I like it.
What about you? What are you up to? What have you been doing?
Same old, you know. Because I have a job, you know, I work full time during the day and then right at night. So it's just busy
Yeah.
life. And that's kind of it. That's all I do is work.
Keeps us from being bored, right?
Yeah, for sure. You know, and I'm doing this romantic suspense thing, Shark's Edge, you know, and Angel and I were writing it together, and we split up, and not split up like we didn't get divorced or anything like that. We're still
Good.
as good of friends as ever. I know. But we just, after 4 books, I think, we just went, you know, she's doing the Blood of Zeus thing with Meredith, and I went, you know, my way with the series myself. And so it's just fun, you know.
Is
It's
it
fun.
weird writing it by yourself rather than with her?
Not really, not
Yeah.
really. The way we were writing the series was I was writing the first draft myself, and then she would come after it was written and add into it, you know, add her voice to it. So there's not much different to my part of the process, you know, except she's not coming in. So there's a little bit, at first it was a little different because I always knew in the back of my mind I had this safety net. Like, if there's anything weird, she'll catch it, you know, or she'll pick it up, you know, but now I don't have it. So
insert sex scene here.
There was
keep going.
Yeah, I have to be more careful about things and details, but that's good because there was some things that I was lazy about, you know, that she has her strengths and I have mine. And so I would, you know, leave that kind of flat where I knew she would embellish. So now it forces me to, you know, be a little more round, I guess.
It's fascinating how people's process for co-writing.
Yeah.
I have not co-written, so, but some people it might be one chapter and then one chapter or whatever.
We did that. We did that on Secrets of Stone for the first 4 books. And then on the 5th book on through the 9th, we did it this way. Just because at that point she was doing Bolt and got so busy, it just worked out better for us to do it this way. So then when we started doing Shark, we tried to go back to doing that chapter by chapter, and it didn't work anymore. Like, our writing just was working that way better. And so then we went back to doing it this way. It's just, you know, we had gotten into that groove. So that's our process. I think it might be fun to do it that way, but for her and I, it just doesn't work that way. We just, I don't know, we got into this groove. So it was like forcing it to do that way. So I don't know.
Then it'd be interesting too, like to get it back and reread what your partner wrote and go, that wasn't where I wanted to go with that. You're like, dang it. All right, fine. I guess we're going with that. Or I didn't want them to have sex yet, but I guess I did. Okay.
There's definitely, no matter how you do it with a partner, a lot of plotting and planning ahead. It's a lot more, where doing it myself, I'm pantsing a lot more now than I ever did. And that's fun.
Yeah.
You know, do you pants?
I'm a pantser too. Like, I know what the drama is, so I can write to that drama.
Yeah.
Like, I know who the bad guy is, and I know if it's going to be kidnapping or shooting or, you know, whatever it's going to be, but I don't know what happens in the middle. You know, I don't know. I usually know how they meet, like how it starts, and then what the drama is. So, but yeah, I don't know the stuff in the middle. It just comes as I write.
Yeah, I'm finding I'm doing that a lot more, and it's refreshing, kind of, you know. And I get to this certain point and I look and I go, what the hell am I doing here?
Right?
What's happening? I think Megan and Amy, they hear that so many times in a book. What the hell's happening here? Like, I don't know.
They're doing their thing. Yeah.
They're like, here she goes again. I don't know.
course.
So we get this question every time we do one of these. If we have new readers to you watching right now, where do they start for Susan Stoker?
Gosh, I have a lot of books, and sometimes I feel bad about that because, well, because I think it can be daunting to readers. Like, oh, well, crap, she has 80 books. I don't know
Oh
what
my
I'm just not going to start anywhere. And so they move on to someone else that has like 10 because it's easier. But mine are all standalones. Like, yes, I write in a series, but each book is about a separate couple. And
Right.
so you'll get your emotional high at the end because I have to have that. But
Right.
most people start with my original series, my Seal of Protection series, all the protecting books. And Protecting Caroline is the first one, and it's free. And it's interesting because that's the only book I've written without sex in it. And I think it was just because it was my first book and I was, leery of that.
Yeah.
But it's also one of my most popular. And I think it's because Caroline, she's an adult. I forget specifically, but mid-30s maybe. And she's successful. She's a chemist. She's like, independent, whatever. But she feels invisible in society. Like, she goes through her life and, guys don't notice her because she's not a model. She's not, any of these things. And so she's on a plane and she's sitting next to a Navy SEAL and she figures, oh, it'll be the same kind of thing. He's not going to notice me, but then he does. And shit happens on the plane, and she, with her help, the Navy SEALs save the day and the terrorists don't win. But that's just like the beginning.
Yeah.
So there's lots of crap that happens, but there's a scene in there where she's sitting with 3 or 4 SEALs, and she turns to one of them and says, when was the first time we met? And he says, well, on the plane. And she's like, no, you held open the door to the airport to me. And he doesn't remember it. And then she goes to the second guy and said, when did we meet? And he's like, on the plane. She's like, no, I stepped over your feet in the waiting area and you said, excuse me. And I said, whatever. And so the point is, like, yeah, I mean, she was invisible. These guys didn't notice her.
Right.
And so I think so many of us feel that way. And I think that's why that book clicks with people, is because,
they identify with her.
yeah. And she still gets the guy, but she's still independent and she's still smart and she's still all these things.
Right.
And yes, she still needs to be rescued by the Navy SEALs, which is my jam. So
Right.
yeah. So anyway,
right.
most people start with that, and it's free, which is a bonus.
Yeah.
I have 4 free books, and I usually tell people, if you read those and you like them, you'll like all my books, because I don't change the way I write. So
Right. Yeah, I think most of us have our style going in, and it just, maybe we grow and, change little tiny things, but like our personalities, we are who we are. It doesn't really change.
Well,
Just talking.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I don't go to from paranormal to historical to young adult to whatever it is. Right. I mean, I like to call it contemporary romantic suspense, because it's not a thriller. And sometimes people even go, I figured out who the bad guy was in chapter 2, and I'm like, well, good for you, because I'm not writing a mystery. If I was, I'd be worried. But this isn't a mystery,
right?
So suspense is a little different. A lot of times you do kind of know who the bad guy is along the way, because that builds a suspense of, he or she is going to make their move. Right. 85% of the way through this book, something's going to happen.
Right. So. That's so funny. I got edits back today on a book, and he said something about that's, some deep foreshadowing. Is that what you want to do? I'm like, yes.
Yeah. Did I mean to? No, but yeah. Look at me go.
I meant to do that.
Yeah. My editor sometimes gets mad at me, because she's like, you just sprung this on us at 85%. You got to go back. And I'm like, but I wanted to spring you on. I didn't want you to know who the bad guy was. She's like, no,
you weren't
you have to go
sleeping.
back.
Wow.
Like, dang it.
Oh my gosh. It's so funny. It's like, oh, I knew what I was doing. What?
Right? Like, oh yeah, I meant to do that, really. So what about you? When's your next book?
So that it's May something, May
31st.
31st. Yes. May 31st, which is kind of long, because it's done in so May 31st. Okay. This, the joys of being with a publisher, they are in charge of all that stuff. Yeah. So, and they fit it in with everyone else in the house. So May 31st is Elijah's Want, and I'm writing Elijah's Need right now.
Is this a trilogy or duet?
No, it's the series. It's the Shark's Edge series. It's a 15-book series.
Okay.
So we're like smack dab in the middle of it right now. So it's kind of neat to be coming down over the,
yeah,
coming down. So
we're halfway. Woo.
Yeah, looking at the at this point, I really am seeing the wrap up, like I'm working toward it, and it's fun, it's exciting. And I am trying to look into the future and see a next generation or some kind of spin-off, and hopefully, that would be great to really work on some of these extra characters. I have in mind a few of them that could really be a lot of fun to work out, into a spin-off. So we'll
Are you
see.
taking notes?
Yeah.
I have a tendency to forget. Like I had a great idea, and now I forget. I don't know what my great idea was.
Yeah, I have a very, very long Google Doc on this one that I go in constantly. Like while I'm writing, I keep it open and I just put little factoids in it, and each book, then I start under the heading that's just the title, and I just start. It's almost like taking notes in class. It's just bullet points that are important, like if a character pops up, the name and what the relationship is to whoever, and on, and that's what, just like facts, just so I can go back and look, because it's funny stuff. My editor was insisting to, isn't so and so's driver's name that? I'm like, no, it's, and I get it. I mean, dude's got a lot of books he's editing, but it was just funny. And then I couldn't remember his driver's name from the, first books. And I'm like, no, but that's not, I know this guy's, driver's name. I do, a lot of billionaire CEO, like even it's a romantic suspense, but of course they're like filthy rich. I'm not into writing poor guys. It's not my thing,
right? Well, none of us want to get together with a poor guy.
My husband was asking me that. He's like, how come they're all billionaires? I'm like, because who wants to be with a poor guy?
Why do they all have big dicks? Why do they give us orgasms the first time? Like, come on, we're not going to be like, no, he's like this and doesn't know what he's doing. No,
writing, it's like a daydream. It's not reality. It's, off in imagination. So it's funny.
Amy said she hopes that you do a second generation for Shark's Edge, and then you mentioned that. So
yeah,
there
you go.
I would love to. So they're having, they're all young couples, so they're having babies and stuff. But I gotta get some of them married. That's the big, you build their relationship in the beginning, but I'm trying to not like rush any of them right into marriage, because I don't think that's believable. I like insta love in theory, but then you're working through all these things going on in the relationship, so you have books to write, and so that doesn't end up like, and then they got married. It's like, wait a minute, that was a really big deal just then, so that's it. They got to get married.
I always try I always try to have at least one couple not want children. And I kind of push back.
It's real life,
My readers push back on that for me a lot. They're like, well, how come they don't have a happily ever after ending? I'm like, they do. They just don't want children.
Right. And that's happily ever after for them.
Yeah. My husband and I don't have children. And so I try to make at least one of the couples, they just don't want them. It's not that they can't have children. They don't want them.
Right.
So, but yeah, some of my readers, they don't like that at all. And I'm like, having kids is not the goal for every single couple.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's a good point. Megan, do we have questions?
Yes, I'm reading the chat right now. Deborah is downloading Protecting Caroline now.
Nice.
So yay. Okay, so first of all, April said happy release week, Susan.
Thank you. Woo-hoo.
And then Deborah said, thank your husband for his service. That's a tough job. So I just like to write these nice things down first. Okay. April wants to know for both of you, what made you decide to write?
What do you think, Susan?
Well, I've always been a reader. Like I read, I forget what grade it was, but I read Uncle Tom's Cabin. And I know my teacher was like, that's a little above, and I'm like, no, I'm reading it. And Watership Down I read really early, and so I've always been a reader, and I've always read romance once I got into middle school and high school. And yeah, I just and so I read voraciously, and I can write. Like, when I'd have papers for school, it wasn't a big deal for me to pound it out the night before or whatever to get it done. So yeah, I guess just the imagination in my head. I told this story in another podcast. Wonder Woman, I think, was where my love of romantic suspense and rescuing people started, because in the 70s,
Yeah.
Linda Carter Wonder
Yeah.
Woman. So I would go out in the yard and spin around and pretend I was Wonder Woman, or then I'd pretend I was being rescued by Wonder Woman, because in that show, at the end of every show, she rescues somebody. She, whether it's using her lasso or her golden cuffs or whatever it is. And so I think that
Didn't her headband do something too?
yeah, it was like
a boomerang.
yeah, boomerang. It came back it would knock people out and she'd come back.
Ah.
So anyway, I just think my imagination, and yeah, and I love telling stories, and I love what I write. So that makes it easier to be able to write.
Have you always been a writer with that's it? Did you ever do another job?
No, I never thought I could be an author. I had like partial stories on my computer. So like I'd read a book and get inspired, and most of these partial stories were the drama, the interest, the 85% mark, the rescuing of somebody. But no, I was a registrar at a university. So I have a PhD. And I was Dr. Stoker, and yeah, so I dealt with all the records and the grades and the transcripts and dropping and withdrawing and all the stuff having to do with records at universities. And so,
in your first life.
Yeah, so it was. This is a funny story too. So when I first started, I didn't think I would be able to do this for a living. And when I started getting a lot of readers, I went to my husband and I said, honey, I think I want to quit and write full time. And his response was, I don't think that's a good idea.
Okay.
And then like
support,
a month or two went by, and my next book made like USA Today. And I said, I really think I want to quit and write full time. And then it was, if it makes you happy. All right, fine. So then another couple months goes by, and I made New York Times. And I made my yearly salary and his yearly salary in 1 month. And I went to him and I said, I think I want to quit and write full time. And he said, you'd be fucking crazy not to. So it took him a while, because, we've always worked. He was in the Army for 21 years, and I've always worked 9 to 5 jobs. And so it was this really weird thing to be like, I'm quitting my job. Like, what do you mean you're quitting your job? And so, yeah, so that's kind of how it all came about. And here I am today, and I get to sit in my recliner with my dogs and do my thing. So it's great.
And you're still working.
Right. Exactly. It's not like
still a job.
It's just not going out of the house 9 to 5. And I don't have to deal with parents.
Right.
Even parents of college kids are just as obnoxious.
Oh, yes.
Other parents. So,
I'm sure, especially the freshman ones.
Oh, and it's not just the freshmen. We had someone who, I know we're off on a tangent on your question, Megan, but someone called in and said, I need to order a transcript and I can't figure out. And we're trying to walk him through how to do it online. And he said, can you just call my mom? So I hung up. I called his mother. He was 32 years old.
Oh my God.
And so I talked his mother through how to order his transcript online. So yeah, it never ends.
Oh my God.
And now, I mean, I suppose it was the same then. You're not even allowed to talk to parents unless they say you can. Like students, you're not allowed to do that.
Right, because of FERPA, because of the privacy laws.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, and that was a big pain in the butt too, because they'd call and want information, and we'd have to say, we can't tell you anything. And they don't like to be told that.
Right.
I'm paying. Good for you. I still can't tell you.
Sorry.
So yeah. And then the parents will bring their students in. Like I had one at a community college I was a registrar at. He brought his daughter in. She filled the form out. The next day she came in and filled another form out to revoke. Because he was making her do it.
Right.
So, yeah. Then she came in the next day. It was like, I don't want him to know the information. So yeah, it gets weird.
Oh my gosh. Wow. I don't think I would like that job.
Yeah, it was. So I was happy to be able to like, okay, woohoo. No.
I know. Yeah.
Well, what about you?
Well, I started writing. This is much less of a exciting story. As an adult, read Twilight, the whole series, and I was at a like emotionally bad time, and I got so lost in that story. It just swept me away. And I thought, wouldn't it be awesome to do that for someone, to give someone that feeling that I was feeling? Because I read it and then I read it again 5 times over because I was getting a break from my own bad time. And I just thought, I want to do that for someone. I want to give somebody that feeling that I'm having. And so that was the first thought of, I wonder if I could write something.
That's so cool. And yeah, what I tell people, one of the best compliments they can give an author is to say, I reread your book.
Yeah.
That they liked it so much the first time that they wanted to go back and read it a second
Or
time.
for
Or
me,
third,
this
or
is
fourth.
my go-to when I need
Yeah.
a break or I need to escape or I'm having a bad whatever. I read this book. Oh, thank you. Because that's what made me start doing it.
Neat.
Megan.
All right. There's so many coming in. Okay. Someone wanted to know, Susan, what kind of dogs you have. And then you brought up the dogs again. That reminded me. Oh, Carrie wants to know, what kind of dogs do you have?
So we've had several over the years. We started out with Basset Hounds because my husband made a comment once that he loved Basset Hounds. And so of course I was like, okay, I like all dogs. So we had Basset Hounds for a while, then we had Bloodhounds. Right now we currently have a Coon Hound and a Basset Terrier mix.
Oh my
look
gosh.
They're
There
so
they are.
cute.
Yeah, so
They're
she's an
so
English
cute.
Coonhound. Callie is the mostly white one, and then Annie is the other one. And
Aw.
Annie's like 12 or 13 now, so I'm dreading that day.
Yeah.
Here's
Aw.
a more recent one of Annie in her Muppety state.
Oh,
So cute.
Yeah, those are the kids.
how sweet.
What else do they got?
Dana said, Susan, you are amazing. Who is your favorite to read right now?
Oh gosh. My crack right now is alien romances. I love reading the alien romances. And I think a part of it is because we were talking about Insta love earlier. I think it's because the aliens, and I like where the humans go off Earth. Like I don't like the ones the aliens come to Earth. And
Someone else was really into alien romance.
and I think it's because the women are out of their league. The guys are 100% into the women because usually it's their soul recognizes their soulmate. And so they're 100% in. There's no questioning. There's no like, do I want her? Do I, and there's no condoms. There's none of that. They're just like, no, I can't get you pregnant until I activate my sperm or,
interesting. Yeah.
And so it's kind of all the good stuff without the reality mixed in, I guess. And so I love, and I've said this in another podcast, Zoe Draven, her Horde series, the aliens are like Vikings, and each one has their own horde that they're king of, basically. And it's like Jason Momoa in Aquaman. Oh, you're not moving around enough. Your light turns off.
Yeah, this is so obnoxious.
But so and I read a lot, so I don't know that I have one specific favorite author, but yeah, I skip around a lot, and I can read suspense even though I write suspense. I love a good kidnapping, doesn't matter who writes it. So yeah, I read a lot of different stuff, but Zoe Draven is good. She has 5 books in that series. The 5th one just came out. Now we got to wait another 6 months for the next one. I'm like sad.
Isn't that the worst? As an author, you're like, I know that pain.
Yeah.
Readers think we don't know. We
Yeah.
know.
Okay, Dana wants to know, do you write about firemen?
I have a series that with law enforcement and firemen. It's the Badge of Honor series. So it starts out with Justice for Mackenzie. And in that series, there's about 15 books. And the books that start with Justice have law enforcement heroes. And the books that start with Shelter for Elizabeth is the first one, are about firefighters. So Yeah. And my husband always comes in handy for the military stuff as well. There's one time I was like, hey, honey, I need a helicopter that holds like 14 people. And so he was like, CH-60. And then 10 minutes later, he's still talking. And I've like tuned him out because he's telling me how many gallons the helicopter like carries, what the ranks are of all
You're
the
like,
people who fly it. I'm like, dude, all I needed was CH-60. Like, I'm not going into that much detail. So he's
nobody
funny.
cares.
Right? Like this is romance. It's not a military whatever book. So he's funny. But yeah, so I'll ask him some of the firefighter stuff. And one of the books in my new series that starts next month, one of the heroines is a firefighter in New York City and comes to the small town because her grandfather lives there. So I was asking him all the firefighter questions for that one too. So yeah.
Okay, Sarah wants to know for both of you, what was your favorite book to write? Do you have a favorite book that you wrote?
Kind of changes by the day, I think. I don't know.
One of my favorite characters is a character called Baker. He's in my my Hawaii SEAL series. His book hasn't come out yet, but I've written it, and I love him as a character because he's in his early 50s. He's badass. He's a former Navy SEAL. He's super intense, and of course he's 100% in with his woman, and he wants to protect her. He wants to keep her safe, and everything he does is kind of with that in mind. And he's helped all the other SEALs and their women in the series when the shits hit the fan for their stories. So yeah, he's definitely anticipated, and I love his story. And now I just hope my editor loves it too, because if she hates it, I'm gonna cry.
Do you ever reject suggestions? I mean, I'm not talking about grammar. I'm like, content.
Not a lot, because I figure if my editor has a problem with something or she's made a comment, then someone else probably will too.
Yeah, it's worth taking.
She's not a big deleter, so she won't be like, you need to delete these 2 chapters and start over. She'll just be like, this doesn't work, or
yeah.
But she's also super picky with like, sometimes she won't like one sentence, and so the easiest way to fix that is I just delete it.
Right.
Okay, delete.
Right.
I don't, it's fine. The story still works without it. And so rather than try to like fix it,
That's what I do too.
in a page and a half,
Yeah,
I just delete it.
I look at them like, we don't even need it.
Right,
Like,
right.
bye.
Like, you don't like that? Okay, delete.
Yeah, same. I do that too. It's so funny.
So favorite book at the moment?
And there's different reasons. No Broken Bond for, one reason, and Grant's Heat for another, and No Longer Lost for another. Yeah. So I'm all over the place.
Okay, Kelly wants to know, Susan, is your new book from the Rescuing series, or when is the new Rescuing book coming out?
So yeah, so Rescuing Annie came out this week, and so
Okay.
It can be read as a standalone, but honestly, it has a lot of the characters from the series in it.
That was the little girl that grew up, right?
Yeah. So I mean, you can totally read it as a standalone, but if you do, you'll probably be like, God, these people are so sappy. They're every other page they're telling them they love each other or whatever. So, and then you're like, who is this person she's talking to? So, I mean, honestly, that one's probably read at least after you've read Rescuing Emily. Emily is Annie's mother. So at least you have a context for who she is and who she was as a little girl. So Rescuing Annie came out this week. So, and then that's the end of the series. I'm not planning on writing anymore. That doesn't mean something won't pop up and I'll do a novella here or there, but yeah.
Have you always been indie?
Yeah. I'm with Montlake I have 3 books with Montlake. But they're kind of a hybrid publisher. So yeah, so I have 16 books in KU, those 3 series, and then the rest of my books are all wide and they're indie.
Yeah.
All right, there's one more question. I think this is a really good question to end on, and then we'll do giveaways. Kelly wants to know, for both of you, if you had a chance to sit and talk about books and writing with any author from the past or present, who would it be?
Oh my God.
Isn't that a great question?
That is a great question. I get to do it every month. I am so lucky. Honestly, this is the greatest gig.
It's a hard question.
Well, I'm going to cop out because it's the and it's a tie. Two people we can't get on for one reason or another. C.D. Reese and Sierra Simone. I just want them to come on and talk to me.
Christine's funny. CD Reese is funny.
I love her writing. I love it.
I don't know. Judy Blume's pretty awesome. She's been doing this a long time.
Right.
Maybe even Nora Roberts. I mean, she's got this gig down too. And so getting tips from either one of them, I think would be pretty amazing.
Oh my gosh, that was such a great question, Kelly.
It was
Okay,
good.
so it's
I can't believe it's been
5
an
after.
hour.
Can you believe?
Goes so fast.
Okay, so Victoria, what are you giving away tonight?
I'll give away Elijah's Whim.
Ooh.
I got it.
Okay, and Susan, what about you?
I'm going to give away. Is it backwards?
No, it's
No.
it's the right way.
It's the right way.
Searching for Lily. So this is the book that comes out next month. So this will be an advanced copy.
Ooh.
And look what's on the back.
Aha, Bigfoot. I love it.
Bigfoot's on the
I
back.
love it.
So yeah.
Look at these pretty books. I love to see it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Amy helped me choose the winners already. So for Susan, your winner is Dolores. And Victoria,
good
yours
job.
is Lori. So Amy or I will be in touch with Dolores and Lori and then
job.
we'll get you the information, Susan.
Okay.
Congratulations. Thank you so much for coming and chatting with me tonight.
Thank you for having me. It's been
My
super
pleasure.
exciting. Now I got to go back and listen to see what you said about me in the first 5 minutes. When I listened on.
Nothing even. We were just, where are you? Where are you? Well, take
Thank
care
you
of
so much.
yourself.
This was so awesome.
Definitely. Thank you guys.
I look
Thank
forward to
everyone
seeing
for
you.
listening and watching too.
Take
We'll
care.
see you next month.
Bye.
Bye.